once you've hired leaders who can make decisions, or you're developing that leadership team, and they're proactively managing parts of the business, you really have to make sure that you install the rhythm of the meetings that you have. Now, this may seem like an easy thing. The Entrepreneurial Operating System, or EOS, really makes it clear how to do this, and they have what's called a weekly level 10 meeting. Now, I won't get into all the details of the agenda of that meeting. Hit me up if you want me to send you a list of that agenda. I certainly can. But you want a weekly meeting, you want a monthly metrics review, KPI review, you want quarterly planning and annual strategy. Most company leadership teams have the weekly down. But the EOS agenda of that weekly meeting is really important. Because as a leadership team, you want to be able to identify issues and solve problems together. And you want to hit your clear goals, your SMART goals. And you want to gain traction in what you're building for your agency. So you want to make sure that every quarter you're also checking in and making adjustments along your annual plan. I don't know who said it, but I've heard it a bunch of times, and that is, if you plan weekly and you have 1 or 2 bad weeks, you're not going to have a bad month. If you review things monthly and you have 1 or 2 bad months, you're not going to have a bad quarter. If you plan quarterly and you have 1, maybe 2 bad quarters, you're not going to have a bad year. That's because you always have a bead on everything in that rhythm. And getting in that rhythm is really important. Without those meeting, leadership turns into just chaos if you don't have that organized. So you really want to make sure that you're structured in a weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual basis. And be militant about it, be religious, be disciplined about having those. And I guarantee if you have leaders on your team that have clear accountability and you have those meeting cadences, you will make traction and you will grow. Okay, this last one is a really important one, and it's just a reminder that your leadership team is really your exit strategy. Buyers don't want to buy your brand. They want to buy your leadership infrastructure, the team that makes it all happen. Yes, there's the financial piece of it, and yes, there is a brand piece of it, especially if you have a good reputation and great clients and all that stuff. But the core team that makes it all work and run, that's what they're buying. Because if they have to replace 1 or 2 or 3 of those people because those people aren't true leaders, that will reduce the amount that you get paid for your business, the value of your business. Great leadership teams can increase the value of your business 2 to 3 times more than what you would get just by looking at the numbers. And that is because a good leadership team, a true leadership team, makes your scale, your ability to scale, transferable to the buyer. So the number 5 is make sure that you stop rescuing people. And that sounds cruel, but the story I once told, my mother told me when I was a young kid, if you were ever swimming around Tony and with friends and someone starts to drown, don't ever swim up in front of them, because they will grab you and drown you. Not because they don't like you, but because that's human nature and behavior. We're wired to save ourselves. And that was an important lesson. Swim up behind them, grab them underneath the arm, get their head above the water. She was a lifeguard in her college days. But if you're finding that every small little fire or every little decision has to come to you, your leadership team isn't doing its job. So make sure you stop rescuing people. It's not a cruel thing to do. They just need to be the leaders that you hired them and are paying them to be, and make decisions for you. Now, if they come to you for advice, that's a different kind of thing. Hey, I've got this problem and challenge. Here's my plan. Can you give me a second set of eyes on that? That's not rescuing them. That's giving them advice. That's just, being a sounding board, and that's totally fine. You want to make sure that if you stepped away for a month or two, it's a good test, by the way, what happens to the business? Who makes the decision? How does it go? And that's what you want to be able to do. So don't rescue people. Make sure your leadership infrastructure is intact with strong leaders who can make decisions and have their weekly, monthly, quarterly cadence, as well as annual, and your business will be worth more.